Hey guys, welcome back. This is Nod Lammers of Invoked 101, and today we're taking a look at my new and updated Invoked Mekk-kinght deck. So this deck has waited 4 months for an upgrade for me to get back to it, so I figured let's get back to this. This is one of my favorite decks of all time, so I knew I was going to have to update it at some point. And I hope you guys like this version, because I think this is where it's at. This is pretty slick. Before we get started, down in the description there is a link to our Patreon, our Ko-fi, and our Teespring, so if you feel like backing us in either of those two ways, or getting yourself some Invoked 101 merch, all that is down in the description, so you guys can check that out. And with that said, we're going to move the extra deck and the spells and traps off to the side, and we'll get right into the deck profile. So starting with the main deck monsters, we of course have our boy Triple Alistair the Invoker. This is your main monster and basically the only normal summon of the deck. Like, Alistair the Invoker searches invocation and gets your plays going. He is a fantastic card. He also helps out with the Mekk-kinght strategy in more ways than one now because of a new link, because of a certain link monster. But yeah, super cool card. That's it for him. Moving on, we have triple Purple Nightfall, pretty stock standard. Purple Nightfall banishes itself as a quick effect, can banish a Mekk-kinght you control as a quick effect, and then search a Mekk-kinght. So that's pretty dope, except for it can't search purple. So that's pretty cool. 2 blue, if you guys know me, you know I've been playing 2 blue for quite some time now. I used to play 3, I think 3 is a bit much, because you don't really want to see it going first. You want to search it off the purple and summon it on your next turn, so yeah. But blue can potentially search 3 different Mekk-knights, which is pretty dope. Anyways, after that, we play 2 Move Man. Indigo Eclipse is able to move a Mekk-kinght to a different column. So, yeah, very good guy right there. And the last Mekk-kinght I'm playing is 1 Red Moon. Honestly, I would play a Yellow Star as well. And I'll talk about the card I'll cut. But yeah, if the only issue is I thought I had a Yellow Star and I didn't. But yeah, I would definitely play a Yellow Star just to snipe some back row or force some negates potentially. Yeah, 1 Red Moon to pop monsters. And that's it for the main boys. Setting them off to the side, we also, of course, have some other stuff in the form of hand traps, that being 3 Ash Blossom. Yes, they're not rarity matching. That's because Mio has all my rarity match sets, aside from the common ones. But yeah, it's those 2 supers and ultra. But yeah, Ash Blossom. I noticed that a lot of people aren't playing this in this deck, but Ash is still really good. It's an insane card this format. It prevents special summons from the deck, prevents searching, so really good card. And then a new card to the deck, I added Phantasmes. If you guys remembered, I actually had 2 Phantasmes that we pulled out of Savage Strike stuff. So I decided to add those to this deck as I saw a lot of people were playing Phantasme, and I was like, alright, you know what, I'll try it out, and it's been doing me pretty alright online. And the last monster we play, which leads us into our spells and traps, is 1 Shaddoll Beast, because yes, I am still playing the Shaddoll engine. And the reason I'm playing Shaddoll Beast is for draws, and I'm also only playing 2 Shaddoll Fusion. I think playing 2 Shaddoll Fusion makes this a go first enough deck that you won't see this. That you'll see this enough, but won't see this. So that's the main goal. But even if you do see this, you can send it to the graveyard from your hand with Invocation to make Kaliga, and then still draw a card. So yeah, you can do that with this. But yeah, moving into our spells and traps. Off of that, we're going to set these guys back over here and get into our spells and traps. So like I said, we had 2 Shaddoll Fusion. We also have triple Invocation because you do want to draw it, because Alistair is never going to resolve. Like, it's going to be so rare. Like, even like lately, Alistair has been such a rare resolve that hard drawing this means just is fine. Like, it's 100% okay. Next up, of course, we want to see Alistair, so we're playing triple of the field spell, which this looks amazing in the viewfinder, BT dubs. Like, this is insane looking. I changed some of the settings on the camera, so I hope you guys like that. Hope the cards are coming through a little bit better. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below, how the stuff looks. But yeah, so this searches Alistair and prevents your fusion summons from getting negated, your fusion spells from getting negated, and they can't activate cards in response to fusion summons. So when a monster fusion summons, so I believe if you activate stuff like Twin Twisters in response to your own fusion summon, they can't chain to it, I believe. I'm not totally 100% on that. Anyways, after that, we also have Super Poly, so it's not like they can negate this anyways. But yeah, 3 Super Poly, because literally every invoked fusion monster is a Super Poly target. I'm playing the Super Rares because I like the OTS one. And then after that, we have 3 Called by the Graves. So I actually would cut one of these for a yellow star if I could find a yellow star. I think 3 Called by is a little bit much, but at the same time, I don't think it's bad. Because this deck is kind of fragile, I do think the Called bys are justified, but I think that 2 would like suffice. And then we play another newcomer to my deck, Triple Mind Control. I had been seeing people play this for a really long time. This definitely is definitely something to play. Being able to snatch your opponent's monster and just like link with it is pretty insane. Moving to the 2 ofs, 2 Twin Twisters. 2 Twin Twisters is perfectly fine, especially since when I get to the side deck, which, yes, it's one of my few decks that actually has a dedicated side deck. Usually I share my side deck with all my other ones, but this one has its own dedicated one. But yeah, 2 Twin Twisters, easy. And then I also play 2 Pot of Desires for consistency reasons. Man, that looks so good in the viewfinder. It's crazy how good these cards look. But yeah, 2 Pot of Desires just for digging deeper into the deck. And then for the 1-of spells, 1 Terraforming because it's limited. Boo-hoo. But, you know, whatever. And then 1 World Legacy Succession. This is to, we searched this off of our Mekk-kinght Link monster. And then for the traps, I am simply playing more hand traps in the form of Infinite Impermanence. This is one of the best hand traps out there right now because it can't really be negated except by stuff that negates, like, except for like Omni negates, like Judgment and Crescendo. So, yeah. Bump the camera a little bit. Anyway, that is it for the main deck. Moving into the extra deck, we will get right in there. Alrighty, so the first card we play, of course, is 2 Invoked Mekk. This is your main negation guy. He's also your main fusion monster because he's a light, and he's big. He's 2,500, sorry. 25, 21, so he has Dark Magician stats, also known as Protag stats. So he's really good, and he's awesome. Like, that's all you need to know. He's awesome. Just best card, like one of the best ones. But the other best one, and arguably even better this format, is Purgatrio. This is your fire fusion, and it can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each, and it gains 200 attack for each card your opponent controls. So is it 200 or 300? 200. So yeah, so he gets pretty big. He starts at 23,000, and he just gets bigger and bigger, and he does piercing too. He does piercing, and all his effects are continuous, which is pretty nuts. Meaning like Effect Veiler does stuff to him, but not enough. Then we also have Invoked Mekk. So I'm still playing this. This is a card that I really like because it does come up every now and then because you can make it off of certain things. What this card says, it says it can't be destroyed by opponent's card effects, and your opponent cannot target it with card effects, and this card can attack while in face-up defense mode, and if it does, apply its attack at damage calc. So instead of attacking with a 2,900 defense mode guy, which would honestly warrant running, I believe it's Spooky Dogwood, like Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood, I think is the water one. It would warrant running that in this deck just to make this guy, if it swung with 29 from defense mode and couldn't be targeted or destroyed. No, he's definitely a good card to make, although if you don't like this card or you don't think that you'll see water enough, don't play it. I do, like, it's because there is another guy who does some similar things. This is more just not similar, but there is a guy. There's a different card that we'll talk about in just a second, but this guy is pretty good. Next up, this is the one I was talking about. This is Invoked Mekk. This is your Dark Fusion monster. And I noticed after Orcust came out, a lot more people were playing this. And I was like, I knew it. I knew it was going to be good. But yeah, Mekk is really cool because he's kind of like a walking skill drain. Your opponent only gets 1 effect. Each player can only activate 1 monster effect per turn, and each player can only attack with 1 monster per turn. Granted, he is the smallest, being a level 4 with 1,018. Yeah, 1,018. So he is really tiny because he does share Alistair, the same stats as Alistair the Invoker. And the last invoked monster we play, of course, is the big super poly target, Invoked Elysium. So basically, this is one of the best super poly targets in this deck because what you do is, so say you have an invoked fusion monster hanging out, and then your opponent summons something from the extra deck and you don't want them to have it anymore, you can super poly it, turn it into this, because this just needs a invoked monster and a monster summoned from the extra deck. And now you have a big, massive, vanishing dark hole, effectively, with 3,200 attack. Pretty nuts. Then I'm also playing 1 construct. This is for the shaddoll fusions, obviously. And then the last fusion we play is Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. This is simply for the Super Poly as well. It's good against Orcus, good against Thunder Dragons. It's good when you don't want to, when you can't make Kaliga or you can't make Elysium, then you can make this and just continue to use this as a beat stick because it is a fusion monster. Alistair does work with it. He can give it a bonus 1000 attack. Same with Construct, although Construct, when she attacks, she just kills stuff instantly. So that's it for the fusion monsters, and I'm going to be really weird right here because I like my extra deck in a specific way. Anyway, moving to the links, this is what makes Alistair even better now. This is Invoked, might as well be an Invoked monster, right? This is Salamangreat Almirage. So what you do is you normal summon Alistair, you search Invocation, link away Alistair into this, set Invocation in the zone behind it, and then summon Mekk-knights to the zone underneath it. So yeah, this gets stuff out of the way and puts 2 cards in a zone potentially. This lets Alistair become a 1-card Mekk-knight summoner. Mekk-knight, he works with Mekk-knights so much better now. But Almirage is mostly there just to get a zone and some Mekk-knights on board if you can do it. After that, we play Alistair, the Invoker of Madness, which is your main fusion summoning extender, as you can discard a card, which you can discard Shaddoll Beast off of this, and you can get Search and Invocation. So Alistair's pretty good. And then we have Mekk-knight of the Morningstar, also another card. This searches your World Legacy Succession by discarding a Mekk-knight card. Because we don't play other World Legacy cards, that's your really only option to discard for it. But yeah, and then it also says Mekk-knights you control cannot be destroyed unless the monster battling them is in the same column as them, which is pretty cool. Another new card that I'm playing, IP Masquerena. We pulled one of these at the, was it the sneak peek? I think Mio pulled this at the sneak peek. I can't remember. I think she did. So we've had this card for a little while. And no, it was in the Unchained deck profile. That's right. Yeah, so we had this card. I decided to put it into this deck because I think IP Masquerena can do some really cool stuff in here, specifically with this. This is a Nightmare Unicorn. So this is the main thing that a lot of people use IP Masquerena for, is they'll link summon on their opponent's turn with one of their cards. So they'll make Masquerena, they'll do plays, leave a monster somewhere, and then they'll link summon on their opponent's turn into Unicorn. Unicorn will spin something back, and then it can't be destroyed by card effects, which is pretty cool because it does have like 2200 attack, so it is kind of beefy. So yeah, there we go. That, and then I also play, of course, Blackluster Soldier, Chaos Soldier. This is an amazing card in this deck. Just a fantastic thing. You can link summon into it using Masquerena on your opponent's turn. There's not a real big reason to, but you can do it. And then I also play one Borrelsword Dragon. I added Borrelsword back. If you guys remember, I actually did cut this from the deck for a while because I thought Blackluster Soldier was better, but I have added Borrelsword back. So those are my links. I think that this is a good link lineup. I think I'm playing a good amount of 2s with the 3 of them. The 1/3 for the target for her. Blackluster Soldier, I know I can summon consistently. As the last time I played this deck at a regional or an event, I made this guy a lot. That's actually what prompted me to cut this in the first place, but because I'm now playing Mind Control, being able to just take Masquerena and Borrelsword and do that, I think can be pretty cool. But yeah, so there's the deck. Except, like I said, there is a side deck, a dedicated side deck for this one. So let me get that out for you guys. All right, so for the side deck, I am playing 2 Artifact Scythe. So artifacts are still really good, and I'm playing 3 Sanctum. So basically what Scythe is, it's not only a light, so you can make Mechaba with it if you draw it, but you can also, a lot of people don't expect the second one. And since the side deck is really lenient in this version, like you can be pretty lenient with it, I felt that the second Scythe was also worth playing. Then we were playing triple Red Reboot. You have to play this now because there's so many traps in the side decks for things that Red Reboot becomes like so necessary. Specifically against cards like Sanctum, which I have. You just need to side Red Reboot. It's so good. Here's the reason Twin Twisters can be at 2. This is 3 Heavy Storm Duster, and you'll find out why we picked Heavy Storm Duster right now. It's because we're playing 2 copies of Trap Trick as well in the side deck. So basically what this does is this lets us get to all of this quicker. Specifically these 2, as well as this last card, which is There Can Only Be One. We are playing the Floodgate. There Can Only Be One is a little rough against this deck, but because we are playing Psychics and Spellcasters, and all the extra deck is different, we should be able to do some stuff. And the Mekk-knight link is a machine. Oh, Ooh, there we go. Mekk-kinght link is a machine, which just means you can't make the Alistair link. So if you are able to do plays, you can do plays with this, especially since, like I said, Almirage is a Salamangreat, so it's a Cyberse. So you can do link plays with things and fusion summon and whatnot. But yeah, there we go. That's the deck. That's really it. I like this version. I like this deck a lot. Invoked Mekk-kinght has been one of my favorite decks. Also, this is one of the only side decks I can play like all ultra rare. Invoked Mekk-kinght has been one of those decks that's like really cool, and me and it have like kind of had this like weird relationship where it's like, yeah, like I know you really like me, and I'm gonna and you should take me to an event. And I'll be like, all right, and I'll take it to an event, and they'll be like, I changed my mind, I don't like you anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those decks. But at the same time, I really do think that this version, at least for me, is something that's pretty good, and I can't wait to play this at the next big event that I can do. I can play it at. So anyways, tell me what you guys thought about this deck in the comments below, and while you're down there, feel free to check out all the links in the description, which is our Patreon, our Ko-fi, and our Teespring. So if you want to get some merch or any of that stuff or support us, that's all down there. And anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video.